Hello. Oh dear, I am not meant to be doing that. You don't like that. Am I disappearing up the sides? Or has that always been the case? I can't actually remember anymore. Probably fine. Hello, welcome to whatever it is I'm doing. Oh yeah, the reaction video for the Mandalorian and Grogu, which is still not the title. Meant to do this a couple of nights ago, and I kept falling asleep. And I kind of want to have breakfast, and I've got stuff to do, and I've got to react to the Spider-Noir trailer. So I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna kind of not bother hugely with preamble. We're just gonna get straight into it.
Hey, never touch the buttons. I can use some information.
Whoa, for this price, I'll tell you whatever you want.
I'm looking for a hut.
Close for the night. Thank you.
Gangsters, war criminals.
Long live the Empire.
We'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Strap in.
You will suffer. And then it will be his turn.
Before going into harm's way, check your armor. The kid will live centuries beyond me. I won't always be around to protect him.
Are you scared? You should be.
Do we run? Or do we fight?
I like this kid.
What are you waiting for? Let's save the rest for after dinner.
I mean, it looks good. Okay. Well, listen, so let's So, as many people have already pointed out, we are now at the stage where we're nostalgia farming The Force Awakens, which came out in 2015, I want to say. So what, 11 years ago? And this is obviously a reference to the TIE Fighter Apocalypse Now shot. I think I have 2 X-Wings and a Y-Wing. I mean, it's not a bad shot. This is amusing. Oh, more X-Wings. I do like this kind of more filmic grain look with Star Wars. I just think it works better with this whole vibe rather than the more cleaner shots that we sometimes get in others, and especially given that it's essentially meant to be essentially meant to be a Western. It should effectively capture that kind of Western vibe of having that kind of filmic grain. a lot of this trailer is full of like in jokes and references from the show. So Grogu being obsessed with pressing buttons, it caused issues. Grogu snacking. It's hopefully not what the film is gonna. Hopefully not what the film is gonna heavily draw from. But as long as it's just here for like promotional stuff, we can live with that, I guess.
Hey, never touch the buttons.
So there's been a lot of criticism already around the fact that we're undoing again. Like there's a lot of criticism in the show with the fact that we ended season 2 with that end of that journey of Din having passed along Grogu as was his mission, and then pretty much almost immediately U-turn in a spin-off show with Grogu coming back. And like I don't mind Grogu coming back in like the long term, and it was always going to be inevitability. Star Wars is very bad of letting go of characters, and that's fine. But the fact it happened immediately, and we don't really get to see, who Din is, how Din has changed now that they can they aren't sort of like bound with that kind of journey and that purpose, and like it was an opportunity I think we missed. And again, the Darren losing the Razor Crest, and then having to like accept that they've got a new ship now. That was a development, and it's just a lack of inertia. The fact that we're going back and we're getting a new Razor Crest, like part of me is like, yeah, it makes sense because like for a bounty hunter who doesn't have a permanent home, who lives in a ship, he's probably going to need like a bigger ship than just the fighter that he has. But like at least give him a new ship. And it's really weird because like franchises like Star Wars, their blood is merchandise. Historic, like things like Transformers, but like Star Wars, especially given how much like revenue it brings in, like famously a lot from its merchandise. You would think that they would create a brand new ship that then again they can sell more toys of, because they've got loads of toys on the Razor Crest, and it would just presumably make a lot more sense to have a new ship. But apparently we've got a brand new Razor Crest, so we'll see how that kind of goes. Also, like how he gets it, I guess is gonna be interesting. It's like Coruscant.
I can use some information.
Whoa, for this price,
This is the thing everyone's talking about online, because this is Martin Scorsese, who famously called films like this not actual cinema, but more like theme park rides. So it's obviously a big kind of in-joke. I guess, look, like the Bill Burr kind of in-joke of casting Bill Burr, who famously made a whole lot of like public declarations about not liking Star Wars, in a very good Star Wars role. This just seems like a voice cameo. But it's obviously in the same vein, so it's kind of funny.
tell you whatever you want.
Does he keep the money? Like when he closes the... Yeah, he does.
Gangsters.
So these appear to be the Hutts from the Book of Boba Fett, whose names escape me in a moment. The twins. I think, is that a super battle droid on the left with a staff, and I think that's, I forget his name, about the bounty hunter that David Filoni voices in the Clone Wars on the right.
More criminals.
And then obviously more Imperial remnants, like we get in the show.
Long live the Empire.
We'll take out every...
So the premise, as kind of pitched to us in the trailer, is that at least the instigating element is he's taking on legalish jobs, capturing Imperial for the Republic. I'm presuming that's going to put me in like some sort of like Journey's Way.
Bad guy in your deck of cards.
Oh, that was cute. That was a salute from Grogu. And this is actually pretty cool kind of way to like mask your entrance, considering if you're wearing fireproof armor against two snowtroopers. I like the fact that he moves through the fire to take down one. I think that's a Mandalorian ship, right? So I wonder who's because it's not the ship that Darren has, that Din has. So I wonder which other Mandalorian we're going to see.
This isn't about...
And then, obviously, increasing the cast, we've got Sigourney Weaver in there, Star Wars debut.
about revenge.
And I guess, kind of being like, this is about keeping the peace, not about, being punitive.
It's about
That's very Lego Star Wars.
preventing another...
These look like droids. I can't tell if they don't look... I mean, it's a blurry shot. They don't look like Type 1 battle droids. They could be modified Type 1 battle droids. Could be also other types of droids. People have already commented this looks like the Hutt planet that we see. I forget the name of it now, but the Hutt home planet that we see in the Clone Wars when Maul and Savage Oppressor hunting down Jabba the Hutt.
war.
Strap in.
And yeah, that's the bounty hunter. Okay, well, big reveal here. He gets his helmet removed, and it doesn't appear in this context, unlike in the previous context, that it's him willingly removing his helmet for Grogu's benefit, or for a droid. He's been captured and had his helmet removed, which is like the big no-no, like against his own will. He seems pretty well given up about it and not resisting. So if anything, I'm very fascinated about what context could lead him to not resist having his helmet taken off. Obviously now he's an apostate again, because obviously he believes in it. Like when he took his helmet off for Grogu, he immediately sought redemption. Like it's something I liked that. I like the fact that you can have this big thing about. I mean, I know some people didn't like. I know some people were like, no, he's had this kind of big, personal. He's decided what's more important, having his connection with Grogu or my faith, and Grogu's more important, and then only to then in like following in like subsequent kind of in the subsequent series. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I messed up my OBS layout, and I'm picking up on things. Then in the next series, kind of undo that whole thing about his helmet, and people were like very critical, and they're like, "Oh, we should be seeing more of the actor's face, Pedro Pascal's face." I actually liked it. I like the fact that he's like, I made this whole. I was willing to make this step for Grogu, but ultimately I'm still a big believer in my faith, and I'm gonna go and like redeem myself. And he does, and he gets accepted again. And I like that. I like that whole thing. It's still like a distinct, different thing here, where he's not making the decision, or he's not like taking the autonomy to remove his helmet. It's being removed for him, and he's not resisting. And I really wonder. And like we see a lot of more other shots in this trailer where he's not wearing his helmet, so doesn't seem to be any kind of rush to put it back on.
You will suffer. And then it will
clearly he's pissed off the Hutt. He gets captured, and they're now threatening Grogu, which is obviously his big rage ball.
Before going into harm's way, check your armor. The kid will live centuries beyond me.
I do also like that we're not like completely like forgetting the fact that obviously Grogu's got his big like lifespan. He's still aligned with the Force, and has Force powers, and again, I kind of wish he stayed with Luke longer and wasn't given this immediate decision about going one way or the other. So we'll see how the film kind of tackles that.
I won't always be around to protect him.
And this is Stinky Jabba's son in a gladiatorial fight. Which we already knew.
Are you scared?
I'm trying to remember if I can tell what species these are.
You should be.
This is probably like the Hutt twins equivalent of the Rancor pit. They probably have a pit that's got this big kind of like snake-like creature in it. And then obviously we I'm blanking on the name. Character from Star Wars Rebels. Zeb. This is obviously Zeb, who we know is also featuring in this, which I do like his live action design, so I'm happy to see more of that.
Where do we fight?
I like this kid.
This is a much more clearer shot of the character, obviously older as well.
What are you waiting for?
I do question why a baby's pram needs to accelerate that quickly. Yeah, more of an eating snacks joke.
Let's save the rest for after dinner.
And yeah, that's my thoughts on this trilogy. I guess the beginning, a lot of people for some reason, I don't really understand why, didn't like Mandalorian season 3. I liked it. I think it was, I didn't have an issue with them kind of like. I guess I get why some people didn't like it. I never had a huge issue with them scaling up the narrative. I didn't mind them shifting from Din's journey to the retaking the Mandalorian plot. I mean, if you're gonna feature retaking Mandalore in any kind of show, surely it would make sense to do it in The Mandalorian, which is about Mandalorians, and we get to see all these Mandalorians working together, fighting to protect the planet. I swear to God, if this came out years ago, people would be super, super excited. So why they were getting a bit upset about it now, I have no idea. But a lot of people are often critical of. A lot of people are often critical, I think, of Filoni's kind of work occasionally. And I kind of agree with sometimes that a lot of it is nostalgia and like playing with his own toys, rather than actually, focusing on telling a good story. But I don't think that's like beyond his ability. Anyway, like I said, I've got things to do, and I want to react to the Spider-Noir trailer. So, but back shortly.